Welcome to another video here on the Giant Take YouTube channel. As you can tell from the bottom, of course, it's leaving the screen as I talk right now. But Kenny Golladay is signing with the New York Giants. It has been official. It's been about 3-day, 3-day research type of thing. Now it's official. So 4 years, $72 million deal. You can see it on the bottom. I'm reading it off the bottom. $18 million a year. That he was ranked as the fourth best free agent by PFF. And he's now a New York Giant. So if you want to know who the New York Giants have, wide receivers line up this way. Golden Tate. Whoa, I'm starting with Golden Tate apparently. No, Golden Tate is not part of the New York Giants. Excuse me. Kenny Golladay, wide receiver number 1. Sterling Shepard, we're assuming wide receiver number 2. Darius Slayton, we're assuming wide receiver number 3. And then number 4 is John Ross. Tight ends, we have Evan Ingram, tight end number 1, which debatable. Tight end number 2 is Kyle Rudolph. So some offensive weapon, and in the backfield, Saquon Barkley, of course. But it's looking like a scary offense who are able to compete now with the Dallas Cowboys, the Washington football team signing Curtis Samuel, and obviously the Philadelphia Eagles with whoever their no-name wide receivers are. But I'll take it, man. Alex, we'll get into it. It's obviously initial reactions to the deal. It happened about 20-25 minutes ago at this point. So we don't really fully know, and Alex mentioned to me before we started recording, he doesn't really know his full reactions yet. So we'll give you those actually on the podcast later this week. But this is just the initial reactions, and we'll obviously have a film review on him as well later, either tonight or tomorrow. But yeah, initial reactions. I'll go first. Sorry, I haven't let Alex talk yet, but initial reactions for me, I like the deal. And I think 72 million is a little too much. It is a little too much. Say it a third time, but it is what it is. I think we knew it was going to be this much. The 4 years is a little, that's another thing where it's like, really. But I think we weren't going to sign him to a 1-year deal. I knew that people were saying, "Oh, we can sign him to a 1-year deal." I wasn't expecting us to sign him to a 1-year deal. So that was the whole thing. Just the age factor is like a little troubling to me. We're signing a receiver. He's not too old, and it's 27, prime of his career. So 4 years, we have until he's 31 if he plays throughout the whole thing, right? And that's like Golden Tate's age when we sign, right? How old he is now, 31. But initial reactions, I like the deal. That's all I'm going to say. Go ahead, Alex.
Yeah, so I saw the price tag and I almost fainted. For some reason, I thought 72 million a year was like 20 million a year, or 72 million 4 years is like 20 million, and then I realized that that's 80 million. But so then I quickly figured out it was 18 million a year, and that's a lot of money, right? So I actually have over here to the side of me the chart of wide receivers that would be paid more than him. There's DeAndre Hopkins, 27 mil a year. Julio Jones, 22 million a year. Keenan Allen, 20. Amari Cooper, 20. We saw that last year. Michael Thomas, 19. And then Tyreek Hill and Odell Beckham Jr. at 18 each. So those I looked at those numbers right away to see, what kind of deal are we looking at here? And if we're saying, is he the same level of wide receiver as someone like Odell Beckham? I'd say he's a similar level. So I looked at that and I was like, maybe not so bad. I looked Tyreek Hill. They're different types of wide receivers. I think it's hard to compare them, right? They're just different. Obviously, Allen Robinson playing on the franchise tag, that's a similar wide receiver. He's also at 18 million. But it's a lot of money. I was listening to some things and people were making some points about how the salary cap is going to be going up soon, right? Obviously with the, TV deal and all, just in general, the economy will be going up, right? So 18 million a year might be the going standard for someone like him next year anyway, or a wide receiver like him. So from that standpoint, it's not terrible. But I like the deal because I think he's a good receiver, but I don't think he's a great receiver. I think he's just on the borderline of being a solid number 1 wide receiver. He did well with the Lions, and the Lions are the Lions. So, I mean, you can't fault him there. So I think he'll be okay. I don't know how I feel about it. It's just like such a weird video in terms of that. But I like the deal. I like that he's coming to the Giants. I can tell you that. I'm a little bit unsure about the money, but I might be okay with it. The next time you talk to me in about 2 hours, I might be okay with it. But for now, I'm excited that he's coming to the Giants, and that offensive lineup there looks really nice. And I really like what we're seeing here. There's instant talks I hear all the time now. Sterling Shepard, people want him to be traded now. I mean, he does get paid way too much money, but I don't think he's going anywhere. And I think this pretty much eliminates the wide receiver in the first round as well. Josh and I were talking about that for a couple minutes before we recorded.
Yeah, I think it does. I think it does completely. I don't think we're going wide receiver first round. Patrick Surtain might be a great option, right? We talk about how Isaac Yadam on the podcast is not the best number 2 cornerback. If you want to say that he's our number 2 cornerback, getting a guy like Patrick Surtain. Now we have James Bradbury and Patrick Surtain lining up like on the left and right sides, you would guess, of the field. Maybe one of them's in the slot, whatever it is. That's great. I mean, if you want to talk about stacked at the cornerback position, that would definitely help us on that path. And then maybe go defensive lineman, right? Obviously, we signed Fadio Odenigbo, but that's not like a long-term solution. He's on a 1-year, $2.5 million deal. So we obviously know from there that it's not the number 1 option for the Giants. So maybe an edge rusher, right? If you haven't already, go check out thegianttake.com. We've done draft profiles on most of the prospects that the Giants have looked at. Kind of upsetting now that we did do basically all the wide receivers. Jamar Chase, Devonta Smith, Devontae Smith, excuse me, and Jalen Waddle as well. So it's, that's kind of annoying, but it is what it is. So if you want to go check out those, but we do have Kwity Paye, so maybe we look after a guy like Kwity Paye on the defensive side of the ball now. But yeah, and I think one thing to mention with the deal is 4 years, $72 million, $18 million a year, Alex, is that the good thing about it, I mean, is that since it's COVID, obviously it's going to be a little less. We haven't had the yearly totals, but it's going to be less and then more the rest of the years. But I don't know what's going on in my background here, but I thought I heard something. But anyway, so a ghost is in my house right now. The Kenny Golladay has entered my front door here in Jersey. He's checking out the neighborhood. But anyway, yeah, the thing is, like, I think it's a COVID off season, but I think the money will increase as as each offseason, the money's going to increase. Players are going to want more and more each year. So I think we get it done, get it out of the way now. We don't sign him to a $1 million deal. Unless we feel like restructuring the deal, we won't have to restructure the deal for 3 years, 4 years. So in that aspect, I think it's good that we locked him up for a good amount of time. Hopefully he's good. If he sucks after 1 year, that's scary. But, if he doesn't and he looks really good, then we can say, obviously it depends on how long we have him. How long he plays. But if after 1 year he's a great player, obviously we're going to say this was the best deal. If he sucks, and it's going to be like this deal sucked, right? Obviously, that's how it works. But yeah, that's just really my main thoughts on it.
Yeah, and we also heard rumors besides the Golladay. Just wanted to bring this up real quick. Adoree Jackson, Jabril Peppers tweeted that he should come or something along those lines. He deleted the tweet. Actually, I just noticed. So I was trying to pull it up for everyone, but he actually deleted it. So I don't know what's going on there. Dave Gettleman called him up and was like, no, Jabril, you got to take it down. But Adoree Jackson, he's a cornerback, obviously, so he could come in if he does somehow come to the Giants. I don't know how they'd work out the cap with Kenny Golladay coming in for this much money. Maybe he's not even taking much of a hit this year is what I'm guessing, obviously, if they're still looking at other free agents. If you bring in him, pretty much all your holes are filled. And then you're really just there for best player available in the draft. I think you're still at that point now, actually, because I think we will bring in some sort of cornerback in free agency. So I think you're just set up nicely now for the draft to just take the best player available, whether that's offense, defense, offensive line, wherever. I think offensive line's still weak. I think that's definitely going to be a place we need to, help out a bit. But this is not about the draft. We'll probably talk about that for weeks now because, the draft's not for a little while. But we have plenty to talk about now with Kenny Golladay here. Kind of changes up all the conversations about the draft also. So we can restart our draft conversations now. So that's exciting. Yeah, I'm happy with the deal as of right now. But I'm just excited to see what happens with the rest of free agency as well.
Yeah, film review coming soon. We really hope you appreciated this video. Watch all of our content so far. We've had some film reviews, some intro videos, some Leonard Williams extension videos, and we'll have a Reggie Ragland film review, Kenny Golladay film review. I don't know what order. I think we agreed Galladay's coming first. But follow us on Twitter. You see it at the bottom. You've seen it throughout the whole video at the Giant Take Pod, the Giant Take on Instagram. Subscribe here on YouTube. Drop a like, and we'll see you next time.